Good morning. It's Thursday morning, and I want to share with you something that was shared with me by one of the healers that I work with that has been a really powerful tool to get back into my body, to get grounded, to let go of some stress and anxiety. And I think it's something we can all use. So if you're scrolling through Facebook and you're doing a million things and you're texting and whatever, you maybe want to just stop for a minute and take a deep breath, because I want to go a little bit deeper here than we would normally go in a Facebook Live. This isn't just a chat. It's an opportunity for you to feel something, get some more clarity, feel a bit more settled and at ease. And I want to invite you to take a minute to take your awareness inside. I want you to extract it a bit from the outside world and take it inside and drop that awareness down into the bottom of your feet. So if your feet are not on the floor, maybe you want to put them on the floor. Maybe you want to feel what the ground feels like, or your shoes. I just want you to feel into your feet. Now, normally when we do this kind of thing, especially if we're a bit unsettled, we think about our feet. So thinking about your feet and actually feeling your feet are not the same thing. So feel into your feet. Do your feet feel alive? Do they feel warm? Do they feel cold? Do they feel constricted in whatever you're wearing? Or do they feel free? Just actually feel what it feels like. And gradually take that awareness up into your ankles and your calves. Can you feel your calves? Do they feel tight? Do they feel relaxed or tense? Can you feel what your calves feel like? And bring that awareness up into your knees and into your thighs. Can you feel what it feels like to be in your legs? Do your legs feel strong? Do they feel stable? Do they feel tense or tight in any way? And your hips and your abdomen, is your breath fluid? Is it able to come in and out of your belly with relative ease, or does it feel like something is constricting your belly as you're breathing? Do you feel any emotion? Do you feel any anxiety, any excitement or nervousness? Can you feel if there's any emotion in the physical body? Allow that awareness to come up through your chest into your shoulders and your arms. What do your arms feel like? Do they feel heavy? Do they feel light? Do they feel free to move about? Do you feel like there's good range of motion in your joints? And how about your throat? Do you feel that you could say whatever you really wanted to say right now? Do you feel an openness of expression? Do you feel like you could sing, like you could turn up the music in your house or your car and sing a song and that it would come out easily? Or does it feel like maybe there's something holding you back in your throat or your neck? And what about your face? Does your face feel soft? Your jaw, your eyes, your forehead? Does it feel like all scrunched up? Does your scalp feel tight? How does this whole thing feel from the inside out? What I noticed when I started doing some of these scans is that I could think about the parts, but I couldn't really feel into the parts. And so, part of my personal and professional work is getting more and more into my body, more and more grounded, more and more into a feeling place. And that might sound kind of woo-woo, or why do I have to feel anything? But actually, the feeling place is the place that we want to come from when we're making any kind of decisions. We think that we want to come from the brain. We think we want to come from that list that we made of positives and negatives, and we think we want to come from a place of logic and cognitive, rational decisions, but we actually don't want to come from that place. If we really want to have joy and satisfaction, which is what I think most of us are going for, then we want to come from a feeling place, a feeling. Does this feel good? Am I moving in the direction of joy? Am I moving in the direction of satisfaction? And if we're not connected to our body, we don't have access to that information, because that information resides in the body. It doesn't reside in the mind. We can think about, oh, if I had that, I would feel good. And it's like a fantasy, but it's not a reality, because when you drop down inside and you feel what it feels like to have that, what would that feel like to have that? By residing in that sense of joy and that sense of satisfaction, you can feel if it's really the thing that you want. And also, it becomes much more likely that you're going to come in contact with that thing because you've already embodied that thing. Feelings are also the way that we set boundaries. We set boundaries for our work. We set boundaries for our personal life. Often when we're young, we're told not to feel the way that we feel. So maybe your parent is working too much and you go to the parent and you want some attention from the parent. And the parent says, you know, I give you lots of attention. You don't need attention right now. Like, go play in your room. Then you learn that your feeling is not valid, and you learn that you need to hide that feeling, or you need to put that feeling away somewhere. So what happens with that? Well, you find some place to put it. So let's say you put it in your feet. You're like, I walked out there, I said my truth, I was denied, I was rejected, I need to not do that again. And you cut off that connection to your feet. You cut off that connection to emotion. And then that doesn't give you access to it, and it doesn't allow you to take that next step and to take that next risk and to put yourself out there. Little by little, you create these walls and you create this resistance around you to not doing and saying the things you really want to do. And this means that when you want to show up fully in your writing or your speaking or your singing or your painting, or you want to show up fully in a relationship and you want to have that intimate vulnerability that creates a really strong, healthy relationship, you don't have access to that. And so what healing and wholeness actually means is little by little peeling away those things that have put up walls or resistance between you and the things that you really want. It's little by little acknowledging that there was a hurt, forgiving it, and letting it go. It's little by little recognizing the voice to say, I want that, but I probably shouldn't do it. I want that, but I don't think I'm good enough. It's little by little sort of pulling those things away and allowing the full expression of who you are to actually show up, so that you're more radiant, so that you're more confident, so that you're more beautiful in the world. All of that is possible when we get out of our own way. I got an email recently from a former client who said, you've always helped me so much in the past. I'm really struggling again now. I hate this and that and my job and something else, and I don't like this and that. Tell me what to do. And my response was not a tactical response. It was not, well, you got to get this job and go to this place and action, action, action. No action. No. You have to go inside. You have to cultivate a positive mindset. You have to cultivate serenity inside, and you have to come from a place of open, loving receptivity for all those things that you want to come to you. Radiance is a choice. Being radiant and beautiful and vibrant is a choice. Everybody's life is hard. Everybody is facing challenges. On a moment by moment, hour by hour basis, we are all facing incredibly difficult challenges. And being radiant is a choice to embrace those with positivity and optimism, which is much easier said than done, especially if a lot of the parts of you are numb, especially if you've shut down parts of your heart, parts of your body. If you've shut down some things, then you've disconnected from your guidance system. You've disconnected from your feelings. You've disconnected yourself from others. And when you're disconnected, everything feels smaller, more contracted. It's like you're in this little shell or this little container, and the light's not coming in and it's not coming out. So I want to invite you to feel more, and feeling more means you're going to feel worse before you feel better, most likely. because there's a lot of things that you didn't want to feel that are somewhere in here, and those are going to come up, and when you feel them, you'll move through them, and then you get to the really, really good stuff. But you have to feel some of that so that you can have these other experiences that you're wanting to have. So I invite you to think about all the parts that we went through at the beginning of this conversation, and imagine your foot. As crazy as this sounds, imagine your foot giving and receiving love from others. Imagine your calves and your thighs and your belly giving and receiving that love from others. Imagine your heart and your arms and your hands and your eyes giving and receiving that love. Seeing those channels open, seeing the flow coming in and out so that you can be a fuller, more beautiful expression of who you are. Who you are is already perfect. And if you have voices in your head that are telling you that it's not, then those are voices that need to be received with compassion, but they also need to be shifted. Because your belief about who you are and your belief about what you're capable of doing, it's just a belief. And a belief is just a thought that you've practiced. And if you practice a thought many, many times, it's going to seem true, even if it's not. So you have to practice a different thought. You have to practice a thought about, I am lovable, I am beautiful, I am capable of anything. And you practice that over and over and over until it's something that you believe and something that you feel. And let that penetrate all these little bits of you, all the cells, all the tissues, all the parts. Let that be real for you, and let that guide you so it helps you know what you really want, what you really need. And it serves as a tool to help you make the choices that are going to be best for you so you can stand in your truest self, be your truest self, express your truest self. Those are my thoughts for this bright and beautiful Thursday morning, and thanks for joining me. I hope you're happy and healthy wherever you are. Bye for now.